So let me just say that we're eager to have your continued leadership. You are our sister. We are honored. And it is important for all to know that she's experienced loss by her sister being killed in the 1970s, one sister being killed in the 1980s, that she has been a key leader of the 1980s Women's March Against Compulsory Veiling, candidate for the Iranian Parliament from Tehran in 1980. She received over 250,000 votes despite election rigging, and I would like to say 250,000 votes that she received. She's an engineering degree from Sharif University of Technology, Iran's MIT, and authored several books on gender equality, freedom, and democracy. As I have known her over the years, she's been consistent, a vocal, passionate spokeswoman and spokesperson for freedom, and offered a bright light of reason through her 10-point plan for tomorrow's free Iran. She is not selfish. She wants and is embracing all, that all may be able to return, to come home to a free Iran, led by someone who loves freedom and democracy. She has addressed parliaments in the UK, France, Italy, Belgium, Canada, Norway, Germany, the European Parliament, and the Council of Europe. We are not a stranger to her. She's not a stranger to us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is certainly my privilege to be able to bring to us Madam Maryam Rajavi, as President-elect.
Thank you. Good morning. First of all, thank you. Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank the Iranian Women Congressional Caucus and the Congressional Iran Human Rights and Democracy Caucus for their efforts in supporting the struggle of the Iranian people. I thank especially the chairs of these caucuses, Representatives Sheila Jackson-Lee, Nancy Mace, Tom McClintock, and Steve Cohen. Thank you for this occasion. Honorable representatives, let me speak briefly about the latest situation in Iran. The uprising that started in September last year changed Iran's political scene. This uprising did not happen overnight, and the leading role of women did not happen by accident. This uprising was, on the one hand, the result of more than 40 years of struggle of the Iranian people and resistance, paying a heavy price, and on the other hand, the result of the role of women have played in the leadership of the resistance during the past few decades. To contain the uprising and maintain its survival, the regime relies on brutal suppression of protests, including increase in executions and widespread arrests. At least 94 people have been executed since 1st of May. Today morning, 11 prisoners were executed. The goal is to create an atmosphere of terror to confront the uprising. The mullahs have intensified the repression, especially against women. They have organized chemical attacks on girls' schools. They create many restrictions for women to impose the compulsory hijab. Many women are arrested. The Iranian women's slogan is, with or without hijab, onwards to revolution. And I have always emphasized no to compulsory hijab, no to compulsory religion, and no to compulsory government. The mullahs also engage in a disinformation and demonization campaign to promote the narrative that there is no alternative to the ruling regime. Recently, documents were disclosed from the mullahs' foreign ministry regarding their project to discredited the resistance. However, the uprising showed people are no longer willing to tolerate the current conditions, and the situation will not return to the pre-September period. The desire of the Iranian people is a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear republic. Today, more than half of the 560 members of the democratic alternative, the National Council of Resistance of Iran, are women. In the PMOI, women have played a leading role at all levels during the last 30 years. We believe that the Iranian people and resistance are capable of overthrowing this regime. The most important principle we believe in is freedom. 120,000 of Iran's children have sacrificed their lives for freedom. We and our people insist on people's sovereignty and reject any kind of dictatorship, both the religious and monarchic dictatorship. The common slogan of the Iranian people in this uprising was "No to the Shah, no to Khamenei." We seek freedom and democracy for our people, whatever the cost. We call on all governments to recognize the struggle of the Iranian people to overthrow the regime. We call on them to confirm the legitimacy of self-defense for Iran's use against the IRGC. The House Resolution 100, which you initiated, is the best example of a correct policy towards Iran. Thank you all very much, and I look forward to hearing you. Thank you.
Maryam Rajavi, we look forward to your continued voice, speaking for the children who cannot speak for themselves, 120,000, looking forward to the nonviolent continued protests for the many millions of Iranians crying out for freedom. And we look forward for the condemnation of a government who would blind their boys and girls, the future and the todays of this great cause. So thank you so very much. We in the caucuses will continue to be a force and presence here in the United States Congress, bipartisan, and we will continue to lift up our seniors and our children together. They represent the history and the future, and we will always be with those who have bared the burden, bared the burden of loss, but have never given up. And they're in this room, if you're able to see them. The Iranian diaspora is here to support you today. So thank you so very much.